Wow! Looks like a big hospital.
Yeah, this is the biggest hospital in Singapore, and it occupies the whole hill we see in front of us. SGH was established in 1821 and was the very first general hospital and the oldest medical institution of the nation. This is Boyer Hall.
Wow, that is a stately looking building.
That is remarkable considering the battery it took. During World War II, SGH was under considerable bombardment. Many of the buildings were totally destroyed. Boyer Hall took direct hits too, but survived intact enough to become the SGH Museum.
You are so smart, Mr. Heng.
And you're so honest.
Look here, Mr. Heng. This shows the hospital during World War II.
Yeah, SGH was very busy during the Second World War.
I wonder if my grandfather might have been treated here. Look! There! Oh, blast! I thought it was a picture of my dad. He does have a very good likeness.
This is Professor Gordon, Sir Arthur Ransom. He was also known as the father of medicine in Singapore.
He looks very professional.
Oh yes, in fact he was the only colonial doctor who gave respect to the local medical students by addressing them doctors before their surname. His clinic was simple and modest, and his reputation was that medically he treated everyone equally and fairly without any favoritism. Even if you were a prime minister, he was a very good Ang Mo.
Ang Mo?
Red skin, whitey, Caucasian.
And what do I call you then?
Oh, you can call me genius. Mr. Heng is fine.
What's that?
Aling's credit account book.
But who's Aling?
He ran a canteen here at SGH that was patronized by all budding doctors.
And they got their food at his canteen?
Even Tun Dr. Mahathir.
Well, Aling's canteen is a place that many of us who have a little bit of money on extra food go there for his mee soup. It's to me a place of pleasant memories.
Aling was very supportive and understanding to medical students and set up a credit system so students could pay him once they became doctors and made good. He was very kind and his generosity was appreciated by many doctors. If Prof. Ransom was the father of medicine in Singapore, then Aling was like the Lao Pei of Singapore doctors.
Lao Pe.
Lao Pei. That means father, but with much more affection. SGH Museum used to be the earliest medical school in Singapore, and in this museum, we can see how medical equipment and supplies have evolved. We can appreciate the development and changes from these early model equipments to the latest in medical technology. And speaking of medical students, not many people know that the former Prime Minister of Malaysia, Tun Dr. Mahathir, and his wife, Tun Dr. Siti Hasma, studied together and met here.
And I usually, at that time, I had struck up a friendship with my future wife, and we used to sit there in Aling's canteen, where we would have a bowl of soup, mee soup, and discuss our lessons.
Lots of great people started here and found their destiny.
I wonder if my father met my mother here.
Let us see if we can find out. Well, I didn't think they would have that information about nurses dating back so far.
So where do we go from here?
Let us review what we know about the facts.
Well, they met in 1972 when he was severely ill and she nursed him back to health.
But I didn't read whether it was an injury or a disease.
Oh, it was tuberculosis.
TB? Then we're off.
letters Trafen wrote talk about how she first saw my father in a bad state.
And she nursed him back to health over 4 months.
And he wooed her for months after that before she finally accepted him. What does this say?
Oh, this is the only hospital in Singapore to be named after a person. Tock Seng was a philanthropist, and this stone tablets explains in Chinese the compassionate philosophy behind his founding the hospital in 1844. That spirit of compassion is a tradition of this hospital. This book, The Silent War, chronicles the entire experience of the SARS ordeal in Singapore and shows how hard this hospital worked to contain the disease. The book documents the hospital's life and death struggle against the deadly disease. Tock Seng Hospital was at the front line of that war and bore the brunt of SARS selflessly.
Just like my mother working to heal my father.
She embraced the spirit of Tock Seng Hospital then.
All these Peranakan artifacts donated to the museum. The more I find out about my heritage, the more I'm proud of it.
Now, this is a bed for those who needed to answer the call of nature without getting out of bed.
You know, I wonder if maybe my father might have laid down on this exact bed.
You mentioned that your father had tuberculosis. This hospital was the pioneer in treating TB in the 40s, and I'm almost sure your father would have been a patient here.
Shall we try to?
Let us.
TB was rampant in the world, not only in Singapore, before the 1950s. And at that time, it is estimated that about half of people who get TB would die, and many of them young people. Before the 1950s, when drugs were not available, there were all sorts of unusual ways of treating TB, which included injecting air into the abdomen, pumping air into the chest, and various forms of quite disfiguring surgery where they cut off large portions of the chest in the hope to cure the TB. Since the 1970s, however, new treatment regimens have become available, and the treatment is now shortened to 6 months, about 6 months. And these modern treatments have made the old-fashioned ways of treating TB obsolete.